Hey, welcome to the second half of KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. Phyllis Jones, still your host, and I hope y'all got a pencil and paper, because y'all have needed it before. You're going to just need paper and pencil, or put your phone on record, something, do something. But Tavares is a friend of mine. I met him a couple of years ago, and we've been friends and working together ever since to help build the community. Yes, I'm older than he is, so it's his job to do some of this work.
Yes, ma'am.
And he has done a lot of the work. But good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing, Ms.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So what are you doing?
Well, thank you.
Other than the 50 things you're doing, what are you doing now?
Well, thank you for opportunity to come on your show. It's always a beautiful experience when we have an opportunity to come down here and just spend time with you. And from the moment that we've met, Miss Phyllis, for those who don't know, Miss Phyllis is an alpha personality. So, and she's kind of rude. So she doesn't typically ask like what can you do or what are you willing to do. She kind of says, here, you will do this or you will do that, just like she signed us up to pull all of the security for my sister who is launching her program. And we accept, because we need people to put us to work in order to do the things that we need to do. But what we've done here recently, inside of the last quarter, is myself, Omari Branding, Danielle Ryder, Tony Ringo, Sister Rhonda, just all of the community leaders really basically are trying to, and that's not to exclude anybody who I didn't mention or won't mention, the Carolyn Turners not every single person is involved in what we're trying to do right now, because we've launched the initiative located in downtown Killeen, 324 East Avenue D, called the Villagee Cooperative. The Villagee Cooperative is a hub located downtown Killeen, where one portion of it, led by Mr. Omari Branding, is geared towards economic development. Another portion dealing with the cultivation of the minds of our children, led by Miss Danielle Ryder. Another portion that is geared towards enhancing the fine arts, led by Miss Tony Ringo. And then myself, really, I deal with community relations. There's another part, civic engagement, with Miss Joanne Foster, where she goes and she engages all of the local leaders, the civic leaders in our community, in order to bring them into rooms so that way we can begin to develop policies and objectives to cultivate our community. And so it's something that was really passionate amongst the individuals that I've recently mentioned, and we brought everybody in together and we just sat down at a table and we say, well, look, we understand where we are right now. We know where we have to go, and we need to work together in order to accomplish that which has never been accomplished. And I know we've made tremendous strides since 1865. We've taken leaps and bounds since 1965. However, we still find ourselves as a community wrestling with some of the same vicious cycles that existed in 1765. And so what we have to do right now is we have to really, like the Bible says, and like you say, not to exclude anybody. If you're a Christian, you'll understand it. I'm not doing that. What we have to do right now is we have to gird up to the loin, and we got to be prepared for this last push, because this is the push that will lead to equality in our society. My brother calls what we experience in our sojourn right now a 3-act play. For Black people in America, our first act was fighting for human rights, the basic right to be acknowledged as a human being, because we know, according to our Constitution, we were considered 3/5 human. So that was the first act in this play. The second act, once we were acknowledged as being human beings, the second act was we wanted to be treated civilly. We wanted to be recognized amongst civilized people. And so thus the civil rights movement ensued. That was 1965. But yet we still find ourselves in a condition where there's an economic disparity that exists between our community. 13 cents for every $1 worth of wealth that is experienced inside of the white community. And that is not to point your finger or to talk bad about people. At some point we got to evolve, but at the same time, as we evolve, you got to be able to have the courage to say it is what it is. And it is an economic disadvantage that exists in our community. Why? Because just like Ms. Phyllis said at the beginning of the program, we don't understand the function of how to get things done. And so when we make ourselves familiar with some of the things that are already in place, such as the Robert's rules of how to run a meeting, furnishing individuals with an agenda. In our infancy, we mess some of these things up. But when we mature based on the guidance of individuals that God have placed in our community to give us guidance in order to get to where we need to go, then we can become efficient at doing those things, which brings us to the last act of a 3-act play. And in this 3rd act, what we have to do is we have to be able to secure economic opportunities for our community. And so, like Brother Brother Devon was saying a little while ago, we launched an initiative called the 99-cent challenge. The 99-cent challenge, we're trying to make it go viral. You know, that's our goal. You can, anybody who want to know about the 99-cent challenge, you can just log on to www.the99centchallenge.org, www.the99centchallenge.org, and then just go look at the page. And it's an instructional video that's on there to talk about some of the things that we're trying to do. And really, basically, what we're doing is we're giving you 99 seconds to stack 99 pennies. That sounds simple, right? Simple enough. I wish I'd have brought them 99 pennies so that way y'all will see it's not as simple as it sounds. But it's just a fun way to introduce our children to a conversation about economics, because what we really need to be able to do as people is stack 99 cents. We need to stack our pennies. We need to stack them into a place where we can use them and disseminate them amongst our community, so that way we can begin to develop the programs and the infrastructure that's needed to educate our children, to create opportunities for our impoverished, to give opportunities to our women, to be able to develop those programs to teach men how to be a man. See, it's hard to be in this society. It's hard to be a man in this society. And I know I listened to some of the pain of my sister as she was talking, but it's virtually impossible to be a man in a society where you can't exert yourself as a man. I can't walk around and put my foot down on land that I own. I can't walk into a business or a building that I operate, that I get an opportunity to have say. So what I do is, instead of being able to operate and conduct myself as a man in our society, I come back home and then it's the complete antithesis of what a man should be. And so, instead of being a man, instead of conducting myself like a loving father and a warm brother and a good citizen in society, I show the complete opposite, and I'm deteriorated. We got to stop that. But we stop that by creating the programs that are necessary. And you can't create the programs that are necessary based on grant money, based on, you got to fund your own freedom, man. You know what I'm saying? That's where we at right now. We got to stop looking for handouts coming from a system that we can't expect. And this is not to be political at this time, but for all of us who watched the last election cycle, we complain, oh, Donald Trump this or Donald Trump that. Well, since you didn't vote for him, we can't expect that administration to create or craft programs that'll be beneficial to our community. But in actuality, and I might receive some pushback for this, but I welcome the fight. I say that by virtue of the fact that he's removing the programs, he's creating more opportunities for us than even what Barack Obama did, because the programs that Barack Obama created, and he was absolutely one of the most wonderful presidents we ever experienced as far as being statesally. And I know most people, they say 44 for life, whatever. You see what I'm saying? However, those same programs are the same programs that were in place, that were the maturation of a system that we had been under for 400 years. You see what I'm saying? So what we need right now, we need somebody to remove some of them programs and create the discomfort that's necessary to make us do for ourselves. And so that's what's happening. Because out of that discomfort, I sat around with my brother and I said, we got to be able to figure out how to stack these pennies, man. We're going to stack 99 pennies in 99 seconds, and we're going to stack our pennies collectively. Think about it like this. If we, as a people, 99 pennies, this is a simple concept, right? If 99 of us put together, if 100 people put together $1, right? That's $100. If 100 people encourage 100 people to put together $1, who encourage 100 people to put together $1, do you see how we can, with just $1, we can change our condition on a monthly basis? It'll give us the ability to create the programs that are necessary so that way you can operate. Our problem is that whenever we try to do something as people, we always get caught up in the same hurdle. We don't have any money. And so since we lack the funding, all those great ideas, they dwindle out. The fire burns out in them, because it's a great idea. It's a great concept. However, how are you funding this concept? And because we don't have any idea how economics work, we are unsuccessful in the majority of things that we attempt to do. And so where we're at right now is we're going full throttle. It's 99 cents for life. We're going to do this 99 cents at a time. 99 by 99 by 99 by 99 until we create the programs that are necessary, one, to fund the schools that we need. Miss Carolyn Turner is starting a charter school. She wants to start a charter school here in the city of Killeen. So we want to be able to assist her with that. Sisters like Miss Lolita Gilmore would Teach Them to Love Ministry. She got a wonderful program to help women who are displaced because of domestic violence, in concert with a beautiful concept like the one that you just shared with us today. We need to be able to fund that. We need to be able to fund the STEM programs that will lead to our children developing the creative thought that's necessary in order to be able to craft a future for themselves. We can no longer allow our children to grow up in an environment where one day they got to hear, sorry, you don't have the skills, you're overqualified, you're underqualified, we're downsizing. But if we don't create an infrastructure that will give us the ability to shepherd them and develop them in the way that they deserve to be shepherded, then we can't blame nobody else. We're responsible for our own destruction. And so that's what we're doing. And I thank you for giving me an opportunity to share with your listeners and all those who come under the sound of our voice the need for us to be able to pool our collective resources. Thank you very much.
You're always welcome, because the more we talk about what we do, and the more we let other people know what we're doing, the better we become. Because our problem used to be is that if you were doing something, you told Chicago. And then y'all sat there and waited for everybody to come.
Right.
You only told just you two.
Right.
And then y'all sat there. And then you asked him, who did you tell? I didn't tell nobody. Who did you tell? I didn't tell anybody. So you two are just still sitting there.
Right.
With a plan that's going nowhere.
Right.
And also, I'm glad that you don't do what we do. Is the worst people to tell what you're doing and ask for help are your friends.
Right.
Because they're not going to do it.
Right. Right.
Because being your friend, they want to keep it secret.
Right.
They want to make sure, I ain't going to tell nobody because I don't want nobody to know that I know. So we can just keep this like this. Okay, so you got 5 friends that's not going to tell nobody because they just want to keep it with them because it's good that they know. They're not trying to hurt you. They just simply not going to tell nobody because it's really good.
Right.
And then so it'd be you and those 5 friends sitting there, playing kumbaya. Right. And so now that we're not in that problem issue anymore. We have radio stations, we have TV shows, we have newspapers, we have magazines, and we also have learned to use Facebook correctly. Yeah. Well, I mean, we learned to use it correctly. Sometimes it gets kind of west, but it's okay. But now that we're doing all these things, we're simultaneously finding out what everyone's doing, because we need to help you with Texas A&M, and you're up to speak now. So, but we need to help Texas A&M out with their membership, because what she's doing is powerful. And when we send our kids up to Texas A&M, we need to make sure that they're ready for you.
That's right. Well, we welcome them. My name is Roxanne Collins, and again, I am here to represent Texas A&M Central Texas NAACP student organization. We're under the jurisdiction of our chapter advisor, Miss Letitia Hooks, and our chapter president, Mary Cruz. And what we was discovering is that there was a gap. And so, and I'm not embarrassed to say, should be embarrassed to say, I didn't know anything about the NAACP. But when I went to CTC, I remember asking about it, and it was kind of shunned that we don't engage in those type of community activities. And it was kind of, I was like, well, what do we do? But it was in my spirit, that was dropped in my spirit, NAACP. And I was kind of shunned by my pastor, what was my pastor at the time. And so, like you said, that our community is separated. But that could have been a liaison, because my son had an issue in school when it came down to really a discriminatory act. Right. But where do we go from there? Because you're not preaching this. And so the NAACP is still vital. But when we got to Texas A&M and we had to still experience some discriminatory acts, where it was kind of a wake-up call. Like you were saying about the political issues and the things that we're still seeing today. We have made some great strides, but yet we still have kind of taken some steps back. And I don't know if we have really taken those steps back. It's just that we are seeing that they hadn't moved as far as we thought they had. Right. And so when we sitting in classrooms, and to me, I'm thinking that the table is equal, but then there's still a barrier as to the color of my skin. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that my brain can still learn what the next person can learn. And so when we talked to students, we was discovering that some of us wasn't going to take those face-to-face classes because our grades and things like that and how we was being interacted with was affected, but we still sitting at the same table getting the same education.
Right. And
so I noticed that we had a local chapter really figured that out, and I was pleased to find that out by not African American, but it was by this Caucasian instructor that I had.
Right.
And so he asked one day, who is a part of the NAACP? Nobody raised their hand but him. Yeah. And I said, and at the time that was my son's first experience in college. We in college together, and he sat there, and I'm glad he was able to hear that question as well. And so what we're here for, we're looking for members. We want to collaborate with our local community because we're nothing without them.
Can I jump in one second? I need you to say that you are the college chapter.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you got to remember there's three. There's an adult chapter, there's a youth division, and then there's a college chapter. And to explain it to everybody, neither three have anything to do with each other. Meaning this, the adult chapter, adult branch cannot tell college what to do or the youth what to do. They're all their own. We follow the same constitution, but you're on your own. So just to say that you're a college chapter.
Yes, but we are the Texas A&M Central Texas College Chapter of NAACP. And so we want to join together the diversity and the community within our college chapter and collaborate as well with that the NAACP adult chapter and the killeen community chapter. And like you said, the support. We're here to support the diversity on the inside of our college chapter, as well as support the activities that's going on in the community, like the domestic violence. We collaborate with them, and so those same things are happening within our college chapter. And so if we come together as a community, so one of our tagline or our mantra is that we break in barriers and we building up unity in our community, and it's beginning in our college chapter so that we can fully function with our youth chapter, our adult chapter, and our community chapter.
So if we have any college kids in that area that they need to join the college division, how do they contact you? How do they reach you?
Okay. If you desire to be a member of our organization at our NAACP student chapter at Texas A&M, you don't necessarily have to be in attendance at our school. If you are a college that do not have a local student chapter right now, you can contact Letitia Hooks at 254-501-5879, or you can contact our chapter president, Mari Cruz, at 254-786875. And so you can contact them anytime. They're available, very open. And so if you have any more information, feel free to give us a call.
Because see, what we've done now, or what we've just did, is we've connected you for domestic violence. We've connected you to the Villagee Co-op. Now we've all three, I'll say four of us, we all have a new job. You know what I mean? Yeah. We have a new job, which is good because you added to the family. Because now we know we have some college kids. See, we didn't know. We have some college kids that need us all. So now we must step up to help you. Because you let us know, hey, listen, I'm out here. I need your help. We need to build. Need to do this. So now that you've let us know, our job now is to help you. Awesome. Our job is to help you because you're a missing piece in our whole entire connection. Because when Tavares talks about our youth growing up, okay, they got to come through you. They have to come through you. So we got to make sure that what you got is solid and help you get solid so they can grow up and go on to where they need to go. So you're our step from our kids. When they leave school, you're their step. So we have to help you so that, like I said, their other step would be out and they'll be ready to go. And ready to go. So we just made a new family, remember?
Hey,
and it's important that we do these things because other than that, we probably passed you on the street. I've probably seen you somewhere before, you know, and we just walk by. Or we'll say hi, and that's it. But now it's no more, hey, just hi. It's like when we all sit down at the meeting and be like, listen, we met this person, we got to do this. So we need to add to our plate. And your plate can never be too big. There's no such thing as a plate too full. Because we need to remember divide and conquer. If we all belong to one thing, we're all doing the same way, we'll never win. But by dividing and conquer, we do win. So when we get these men straight, and they know how to treat the women, and we get our college kids, if they have any issues or racial equality, or contact me and contact Tavares. It might be a male thing. Contact Tavares. Say, hey, listen, I need your help. But now we all know that our family will be strengthened through all of this. It only makes a stronger family. That's right. It only makes a stronger family, because now we need steps. Because, see, we can't have a missing step. If we're going to train our kids to be men and women, we can't have a missing step. So you were the missing step. So now we don't have a missing step.
We do not, because I was standing here and I was listening to your testimony and your mission, and I was listening to Tavares. And so you mentioned Miss Lolita. I set up to 4 a.m. this morning trying to connect this young lady that's on her, that's volunteering for her.
Right.
And so I said, well, let me go and see what's going on today. And I said, but me and you can work together, because we trying to, of course, bridge these gaps. And so I'm excited, because it is, and I know it's a God thing that is coming full circle. So that there is no holes in our circle.
That's right.
Yeah, because the way I'm gonna tell you the way I hooked up with the college chapter. I went there for a meeting, for something we want to do for the state convention. There was a board, the board that you write all over, It was down there, and it had a fencing class. I was like, oh man, I used to want to learn fencing, but I did archery instead. So the girl came downstairs and she said, oh, this board's on the wrong side. I'm like, oh, okay. She turns it over, and what does it say? NAACP meeting college chapter. I'm like, well, wait. She goes, well, wait. Who are you? She said, I'm with the college chapter. I'm like, I'm the state education chair. She said, oh, the NAACP. So now we're on our way to a meeting. Me and I'm just saying Steve Johnson, president of Alphas. We're on our way to a meeting. She said, but you got to come here first. Usually that's my role, to tell people what they got to do. But you know what? She was excited. She was enthused. So I went with her. We went with her, She goes up and she goes, this is who she is. I'm like, okay. So then I find out, okay, I need to help the college chapter. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't. I had no clue, because it's not that it's not my job. It's not my area. I mean, but now you are my area. But that wasn't my thing to build branches. That's what. So I'm trying to stay in my own lane. But then when I'm like, oh wait a minute, here she is here. I can't. Not that I can't stay in my lane. I gotta step off a little bit, because I gotta see what she needs. Okay, they need membership. They got membership issue. Okay, fine. Let me see if we can raise the age to help the membership. Okay, we did. Now I see we got to go back and work and do some more, and we will. We'll fix it where you can have the kids you need. But now that Tavares knows that you need some kids, so if he knows some kids at the CTC or Texas A&M, he can say, hey, listen, you need to join this group and get something going. Martha, if you know any kids that you need to say, hey, listen, I met this lady, you need to call her, because this is where you need to go and where you need to be. And then you funnel out. But I like this, because like I said, I like when we all connect. I really love it. Tavares knows me. I love when we connect. I do, because like I said, we can't have missing steps.
Awesome.
If we're talking about success, we can't have them. We can't have them. And then Knucklehead right here. He's just Mr. Everybody all the way around. He does. He helps everybody. And Sean, let me tell you, I'm going to bust him out, because I love him and I could do this and get away with it. We need to send him as many crock pot recipes as you can, because he claims he can't cook. So everybody who's listening, Facebook him and send him crock pot recipes, because he can't cook. And make sure they're very simplistic. Okay, and I did that. I love you. That's
I'm
right.
gonna open that crock pot tonight. You
Man, make sure you put us to work, sir. Put us to work.
Right.
Oh,
put us to work.
Y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that.
That's what we look for. Activities in our community that we could put our chapter, because they're ready, but we just don't have that age group. We do have a group, but they're ready to go to work. They're hungry to.
We got work for them. We got work for them.
There's so much that needs to be done. Our community has so many problems. And that's the best age. When you get engagement from the youth, we set the future up for success, because when they start operating at that young age, trying to fix the problems of the community, now they can own them, and then they develop them, and it gives them time to go through the cycles of understanding, where they make a little mistake here or there, and then they get mentorship from our elders to show them how to correct it. Then they have time to go back and correct it, and then do it the right way as we move forward. That's how you develop strong leaders for the future, especially college and in activities. Man, let's get it. It's time.
Man, okay.
So we're gonna make it happen.
No, it's going to. It's done because also you and Martha need to work together because the girls are dating, and so they need to know the pitfalls. Right. The men or the young men or the young whatever they are, boys or whatever you want to call it, they need to know what to look for.
And you know, I was thinking about coming up with the add-on to my Not Broken program because it does start at an early age. It start, you know, as they going into elementary, going into high school. You know, like mentorship for strong women to be able to show these young girls which way to go, how to go by it. Because you know, let them know that you have an opportunity to go to college. You have an opportunity to become a business owner, be successful in some things instead of like saying, okay, like I said, the shorts. You know, I didn't allow my girls to wear that. I don't like it. And I have a daughter, I mean, I get on her constantly like, please do not put that on. That's not how I raise you to wear things. Right. And I that's one of the things I wanted to do too, to add it to Not Broken. I wanted to do a mentorship and to have strong, women that want to just volunteer their time. Not money, but just their time. To show these young ladies how to, you know, go by doing certain things. This you want to own your own business. Let me show you how to own your own business. You want to go to college. Okay, this is the way you can go to college. Because I wish I had those opportunities to be able to just go in the other direction that I went into.
But you can still go to college.
You sure can. Yeah, what I did. I
and because there's some scholarships for you. I know them. They're in my head. There's some scholarships for mothers that are returning to college. Very good scholarships. Yes.
And then too, you know, and that's along that same vein. You are the class. You know, hey, we don't get to where we are without a level of education. There's a difference between education and acquisition of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Schools and educational systems are developed based on the acquisition of knowledge. We should study you and study what it took to get you to where you are. Well, you know, that need to be an entire complete subject criteria, educational. Come on, give me all the words. Teacher. You know what I'm saying? How do you overcome? Right, and we need to develop those types of syllabuses. Give them to these little kids and teach them. That's a class. You know what I'm saying? So now continue elevating and educating yourself, because we're at a place right now where we should be seeking knowledge from the cradle to the grave, you know, and acquiring information from the cradle to the grave. But I think sometimes too, we find ourselves is when we're not lettered or we don't feel learned, we feel less. You know what I'm saying? No, you are the class. You are the class. So continue to do your thing.
That's what I was when I first started off. That's what I was going for. It was my business on a testimony that I went through. I wanted to help someone to get out of just come from behind that mask and just come out of the situation, because it's when you come out of it, it's kind of hard. You're scared you're gonna fall. You're scared. You don't know where to start, and that's why I started. I didn't want a shelter. I just wanted to build a panel and go out there into the community and help women and help all women to show that this is I'm 41, 4 kids and 7 grandkids. You can tell that I went through all the stuff I went through.
That's true.
And so and plus I lost a daughter to cancer. So it's all this that went on. Then you feel abandonment. You feel just left out of a lot. So you feel unwanted and not loved. So why not start at a young age to build them up, so they won't be broken.
So you're a class now.
Yes.
You have a curriculum written.
Yes.
So put it this way: the curriculum will be written in a little while.
Yes.
There you go. See,
that's the word I was looking for. I was waiting for it. Come on,
But you know what? They have that's a pretty word. I call it a flowery word. Called tacit knowledge. And that tacit knowledge is that knowledge that you have, and it comes by way of experience. And so it is, like Mr. Tavares said, it is a class. And so, like you said, we feel like we are unlearned and we're less than. And we start comparing ourselves with ourselves, but you cannot do that. And so you actually have more than anybody had that has some books.
That's right.
But you know what? Right. You bring your book to our book, and that's how you empower.
Right.
So
that's right.
You have a tacit knowledge, that knowledge that nobody, that can't be trained for. And it can't be taught out of a book.
Right.
So we just had a meeting, right?
That's right.
And we're looking for you to come in to speak to us. So you don't have to go and get no more certification or training. We're looking for you to come into our chapter and speak to us.
There you go. So, okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Amazing. So nobody's leaving here with nothing to do, correct?
That's right.
That's the important thing. As long as we don't leave and say, I don't know what I'm going to do next. No. I want you to leave with, okay, let me see. I put it in order and get it done. Because, like I said, I like this show to be, this show is for the community, it's not for me. And this show is designed to do just what we're doing. This is what the show is designed for. Because if I can't do this, then I don't need to do the show.
Right.
I don't. So this show is for the community to come together. And like I said, this wasn't a show. This was a meeting. And this was a meeting. And not only that was a meeting, nobody came in here feeling like you wasn't a part.
That's right.
Everybody came in here feeling like, okay, you just a family member that I haven't seen yet.
That's right.
That's it. And everybody just became a family that I just haven't saw you in a little while. Just didn't see you for a little while. Well, I see you, but you know what I mean? Nobody came here with like, oh my gosh, are they gonna like me? That didn't enter nobody's mind.
Right.
What entered our mind is everybody's sleeves is rolled up,
right, and
we are ready to go to work.
Right. That's right.
So when we all come together, that's the only thing we should always do. Sleeves rolled up. I'm gonna say that one word too. Titles checked at the door.
Right.
And just roll your sleeves up and come to work. And let's get our hands dirty. Because if we don't get our hands dirty, we ain't doing nothing, you know. Right. Little kids taught us that. So I want to thank everybody for coming on this morning. And we had a wonderful meeting. I guess we can adjourn this meeting and reconvene it at another time. But I hope that, and I'm putting something on Tavares. I need Tavares to real soon pull us all together with some more people with subject matter that needs to be brought to the community. Not just ideals, but subject matter that they're already doing that needs to be brought to the table. Because I need to know, I need a sheet of paper or a pamphlet to say, this, oh yeah, let me call her. I need to call her. Oh, I need to call him. We need to have that. We're growing now. We need to have that. A pamphlet or just a piece of paper, something. We need to have that. Because right now, as we see, we need to be walking telephone books. You know, telephone book we threw away. Well, we need to be a walking telephone book all over again. Right. We do. We're ready for it. So I'm gonna put it on Tavares in Chicago. And we need that guy. We need to sit down together and get that guy going.
We got something like that coming up.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll compile that over the course of the next 30 days.
Okay.
By the 28th of July.
Okay.
We'll have, just like in the military, and if you're in the military, you understand what I'm saying. We'll have an agency contact list.
Okay.
So that way we can give out that information. And if you're an agency and you want your information added to that particular list as we cultivate it, you can email us at thevillage254@gmail.com, and we'll add your information to our contact list. The point of contact for that will be Miss Joanne Foster, so in care of Joanne Foster at thevillage254@gmail.com.
Okay. All right, so I want to thank everyone for listening to KISS Community Connections, 103.1 KISS FM. I want you to always remember you cannot lead a positive life with a negative mind. We'll talk to you next Sunday. Bye.